So let's first of all look now at what the placebo effect is. Placebo effect, a reduction in a symptom in an individual that results from one's perception of the therapeutic intervention, both a biological and psychological event. So, to break this down smaller for you, you can have two people. You give one of them real medicine in order to cure something, maybe they're in pain, and you give them a pill to treat that pain. Maybe they have a pain in their arm, they take that pill, the pain goes away. And you give the other person, in the exact same circumstances, a sugar pill instead. And this pill doesn't have any particular remedy in it, it's just sugar. But what happens is the person thinks that it has a type of cure in there for the pain. And in turn, that person no longer feels any pain as well. And that's just a shortened down version of how the placebo effect works. People have suggested that the effects of spirituality are imaginary or childish behaviour. So, we have a whole group of people out there, and there's those who believe in something and those who think they don't believe in anything, but most of the time they believe in something, even if it's just science or something like that. And those people who don't believe in anything will suggest that things like religion or something like prayer is childish to take part in. And they have their reasons for that, for suggesting that. And I personally, as you know, don't follow religion, but I do follow spirituality. I'm here today to help you, to convince those around you who don't think it's worth believing in anything, that actually there's a really good reason to believe in something. Here's why. Placebo responses involve expectation, optimism, and other states of motivational, emotional, or cognitive appetence or aversion. Spiritual practices help to lessen stress levels and improve our health. So there's been quite a few studies on this. And basically, what they found out is that when it comes to those who believe in something and those who don't, statistically they tend to fare better when it comes to health in general. The placebo effect is arguably the most underrated discovery in modern medicine. With a placebo effect, I'm okay to admit that it doesn't prove there is a God. But I'm also even happier to know that there's health benefits to it and that it's a better way to live. Those who pray and meditate tend to be statistically healthier than those who don't. You know, the thing is that we all find different ways to meditate. It may be watching television, reading a book, playing racing car games, going surfing, anything at all. And those things help to lessen stress. But in this world today that's so full of stress and anger, a lot of us don't know how to deal with it because we've never been taught how to deal with stress or anger. This meditation that it's speaking about here is one where you don't need any external distraction. All you do is you go inward, and during that process you're able to rewire your mind and your brain if you do it often. And that is where the health benefits therein lie. Science has no explanation for it. It's true. Something immaterial, a thought, has impacted something material, our body, in a way which utterly defies logic. I can imagine that it infuriates scientists to no end that the placebo effect exists. And it'd be really cool if we could maybe think about some reasons as to why or how the placebo effect happens. The scientific side of it, maybe. How the processes that go on in your mind affect that. And then when science can no longer answer those questions we're looking for, maybe we can turn to spirituality to answer the rest of the questions. I'll leave that to you in your next assignment. We are up to here. Now we're going to move down. Alright. The next point. Empirical findings have identified spirituality as a potential health resource. So, we can start looking at spirituality as separate from religion and treat it as something that can be a tool, a psychological tool for us to use in daily life. You can see, okay. Spirituality points to the subjective, experiential, and private dimensions of transcendence. Religion refers to the objective, i.e. culturally, I can't say that word. Culturally manifested, and social dimensions that offer a cultural framework for the interpretation of spirituality. I guess what I'm trying to help you to understand here is that religion isn't bad, and for a lot of people out there, it's another great tool to use. Before you relax and drift off into dream world, I need to think about these 3 things. So I'm just going to get lower because I'm apparently too tall for this. How can something be childish if it improves your health? So, this is for you. Next time you're doubting your beliefs when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to anything that is not easily proven by your senses, it's not validated by your senses, it just is something you believe in. If you truly feel like these beliefs are helping you in your life succeed and be the person you want to be, then it could never be crazy or childish. And that's what I wanted to think about. So, these health benefits don't prove God. We must recognize that they don't prove God. Or do they? But they prove it's better to believe in something rather than nothing. I don't know how to make it any clearer, really. This next quote I find is beautiful, and it's from an article that I read that inspired this lesson for you today. So, and it reads: if God is hard to find, it is not because the divine is too far away, too lofty, too remote from our fallen human nature. It is because it is too close, too intimate. The very ground of our essential selves. It is like the eye attempting to see itself. However hard it tries, it cannot do this. We cannot find God because paradoxically we are already the God that we are seeking. And that's by Richard Schiffman. I feel like there's a lot of things within the New Age and the spiritual sector that requires your full belief in it to be real. You can take crystals, for example. I have always been attracted to crystals since I was a kid, before I even knew about how they worked or anything like this. And then when I grew older and I started learning about the idea that there might actually be some healing benefits to it, I believed it because I wanted to, because I felt good about it. That's not to say that I don't think that it could very well be just my own thoughts that put and give the meaning to the fact that crystals have healing benefits. Can easily see how those same crystals could not have the same health benefits for the people. And really, I don't think that this disproves the idea of there being a God, but at the same time, I'm happy to admit that I'm the one who puts the meaning into all of it. And I wanted to share that with you today. I also wanted you to think about it for yourself. Do you believe in the placebo effect, or do you think it's stronger than that? Personally, I think the two and two come hand in hand. And I'm okay with that. I'm alright. I used to be a firm believer in science. Because I was brought up with no spiritual affiliation whatsoever. And I was incredibly lost. I thought I enjoyed science, but now I can have both. I can look at the logical side and I can look at the spiritual side, and I realise that the answer is usually in between both of those sides. But if you have anything else you want to add to the discussion, the argument, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. And it's cool. I like this setup. I like to be the teacher. And yeah, I hope I explained it okay. Sometimes it's hard to get the point across, but I don't think there's any one right answer, but it's nice to try and get more in tune with your own beliefs and not feel lost should you be in an argument with someone and want to win it. So, my next lesson is going to be on spiritual symbols again, but it's going to be part 2.
So, you better make sure you're there. Otherwise, I'll be telling your parents. Okay. Good night. Sleep well.